I know this gold effect looks insane and overwhelming, but it's actually the same approach as this, and even this. Many tutorials out there will tell you that you need either to burnish like crazy or use a full collection of fancy tools or mystery liquid solvents to blend colored pencils smoothly. But you don't need any of that garbage. All you need are these basic pencils that you already own and this. I'm working on nearly white cream cardstock paper, and I left only one mask uncolored for our gold demo. My first color is orange. This is our main color, and I'll explain why in a second. For now, just start shading lightly, following the curves of the mask with me. This sketch is my gift to you, by the way. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description and just color along with me. So why did we start with orange? This is a concept called a metallic color triangle. I teach this in my academy. You see, there are only 3 basic metallic colors: white, pink, and yellow. Every metal has a full value scale of their designated color. For gold, that value scale lives in the yellow-orange family. This value scale spans from black to brown to orange to yellow to white. Thus, orange is our midtone. It's the backbone of the entire effect. That's why we start here. Right now, I know, I gotta say, it doesn't look like much. Our shading's not well defined, we can see the texture of the paper, and you may be wondering, how on earth will this turn into a highly polished, flawless, reflective surface without any chemical solvents or heavy burnishing? Don't worry, we'll get there. Keep your pressure light. Think of it as ice skating on the surface of the paper. And we're coloring in pretty much everything at this point, except for these highlighted areas right here. These represent our main light source, and it's actually already established in the rest of the composition. We can see it here, here, and here. When we approach the potentially lightest areas with our orange pencils, we shade with even less pressure and fewer strokes, thus creating gradient transitions from strong orange to no pigment at all. Me, I'm working from my imagination on this and a lot of reference photography. But you have my fully colored reference image as your guide. It's also included in your download. Spend a few minutes on this orange layer and get it to look as something like this. Now we can come in with yellow. I'm using canary yellow from my Prismacolor set. How do you know which yellow to pick? Pick a color that makes you the happiest. Seriously, it makes a difference. Remember when as kids we used to color cats in green and trees in purple just because we felt like it? We were onto something back then. And I actually used a Black Widow yellow on the other 2 masks, and that saturation didn't really live up to the hype, so Prismacolor won. Also make sure that your yellow is clean and pure, not brownish, not greenish. Those will muddy up your gold effect. Now, for certain alloys, that is in fact the way to go, but for clean yellow gold, we want a nice sunshine yellow. Layer it right over your orange and watch what happens. The 2 colors start to blend together right in front of our eyes. No paper blenders, no solvents, not even my beloved Q-tips. Just the pencil itself smoothing out the layer underneath. Each new color acts as its own blender. This yellow is already activating the orange underneath, making it more vibrant. Many metallic effect tutorials out there will urge you to burnish as early as this. Burnishing is a technique of pressing really hard onto the page, so hard that you actually flatten the tooth of the paper completely. It does create an instant, smooth, and reflective surface, but what they don't tell you is that it actually locks you out of adding any more colors. It also gives you horrific hand cramps, so we're definitely not going to do this. Instead, we'll keep layering gently and let the pencils do the blending naturally. This isn't to say that burnishing should never be used, but real artists save it for the very last step, and usually for super tiny details. Okay, bring your yellow layer to something like this, and now we can move on to white. Regardless of what pencil brand you're using for everything else, wax or oil, it doesn't matter, I recommend specifically Prismacolor white for this step. This white pigment is hard to beat, and it works beautifully over pretty much every other brand on the planet. It's also cool because you can buy these as standalone purchases on Amazon. I put the link in the description for you. Add your white to the areas where you decided the light is hitting strongest. And if your paper is already pure white, fill in those areas with your pigment anyway. Remember how we were wondering early on how this flat and patchy and scratchy orange will ever become something gorgeous and smooth and without burnishing? This white is the ticket. It's going to do more than just fill in the blank spots. It's going to become our main blender for basically everything on this mask, creating a truly metallic surface. You can do this during any step of your coloring process, using white this way to smooth out your color surface. Now, in some cases, it will actually dull the pigment a little bit, but it will essentially create the burnished look without actually burnishing the page, which we already know is bad. Even if you lose a little bit of saturation, just bring that color back in again. The smooth surface will be totally worth the extra step. Next up, dark brown. High contrast is what makes metals look real and reflective. And here's a crazy concept. We're not really ever drawing the shiny metal itself, we're drawing its reflections. Well, the things that are reflected in it. The more polished and reflective the metal is, the more it acts like a mirror. And so there's no one universal way to color gold. It will depend on so many factors every time. But the base principle is the same. And if you want to learn how to color every other imaginable metal or alloy, such as silver, copper, tin, pewter, iron, bronze, clean or polished, rusted or weathered, literally any imaginable metal, and in different atmospheric conditions, you most definitely need to join my Metallic Effects Masterclass. And that masterclass title is no joke either. After completing this program, you'll be a pro in all things metal. Just look at what my students have been submitting. It's insane. It only takes a few weeks to go through this course, and it's been life-changing for hundreds upon hundreds of people already. And while you're at it, come browse our other courses in the Academy. It's easy to draw. It's full of specialty programs, perfect for every occasion. Yours to keep forever and ever, and to revisit as often as you want. It's easy. We're simply itseasytodraw.com. Now here comes the most fun part for me, and that's blending gradients. We'll be using either one of our previous bright colors or white. I'm literally alternating the two. But how do I decide which previous color to blend with? Easy. When I blend the brown with orange, it creates an entirely new shade of dark golden orange. It's for the high contrast reflections that we see here. When I blend that brown with white, it creates an almost bluish metallic sheen, which can be easily seen in these transition areas right here. Isn't that gorgeous and so metallic? Now, for the purposes of this demo, and to wow you and to show you that we can achieve such an impressive look with just 3 main colors, I'm actually sticking to my 3 main colors, yellow, orange, and brown. But in reality, when we color metals, we use as many as 16 or even 20 different pencils. On this mask, for instance, we can bring in other oranges, other browns. Your yellow may be too vibrant, and maybe you want to water it down with cream. It's all perfectly fine. But I'm doing it the minimal way to demonstrate that you don't need to go through a ton of pencils to achieve an amazing effect. Reflective surfaces, they're not so much about color as they are about contrast. So having pure black and pure white on our composition will be the most important thing in the end. But first, let's bring in an intruder, bright blue. Again, for the sake of the demo, just to show you that you can throw everything but the kitchen sink at this thing. Or maybe everything and the kitchen sink. It is reflective. But, consider there are things in the world around her. Maybe there's a bright blue sky. Maybe there's an ocean. A little bit of that blue surface is caught in the reflection of the mask that's actually, where is it? Here. The one that's actually facing that direction. So don't be afraid to bring crazy off-the-wall colors to any metal whatsoever. For instance, in the final project in the Metallic Effects Masterclass, we do this Valkyrie coloring, and look at all the shades of blue and green and cream and brown and all those other colors that are in her armor. All of that comes from the environment. Fascinating, isn't it? This is already looking gorgeous and golden and highly reflective, but remember what I said about pure black and pure white. On a highly polished metal, ignoring them is not an option. Prismacolor Black is another one of those pencils that I recommend just having loose in the studio. Most colored pencil sets out there will have decent black options, but I'm a big fan of this one. It's very dark and easy to layer, and again friendly with other brands. Now, just using black by itself doesn't guarantee that the metal will look shiny. Wrought iron, for instance, is mostly flat black and pretty much has no contrast. It doesn't read as reflective. Polished gold and polished silver read as highly reflective because they have a full value range from pure black all the way to pure white with many gradient transitions in between. That contrast is the entire game with shiny metals. Well, you'll learn all of that in the masterclass. As far as pure white goes, your white highlights may already be very strong and perfectly placed, but if you are anything like me, you probably already smudged it quite a bit along the way. No shame in that. So to sharpen up those highlights and also to add new ones to the areas that are already fully colored, I like to bring in white gel pens. Link to my exact pens in the description. And now that you know how to color gold, how about something completely different and crazy? Try hot pink metal. This metallic balloon bear is just as satisfying as the mask. This month it's also featured in Ann Coulger's Color magazine, along with several other incredible tutorials by other really talented artists. Grab the link in the video description. You can get these as physical or digital downloads. This is a really good publication to support. And the balloon bear video is up next. Drop me a comment when you get there.